What made you regret marrying an Instagram model? At our engagement party, Mom discovered my fiancé Pam's dark past through a gossipy friend from her book club. We all have Google, dear, she announced, holding up her phone. Is this the mother you want for your grandchildren? The room went silent as everyone stared at Pam. I stood by her, gripping her hand, but Pam was shaking like a leaf. That night, she looked me in the eyes and whispered, I'll prove I'm worth your family name. From that moment, she became consumed with becoming the perfect society wife. The next morning, Mom showed up at our apartment with a condescending smile. If you're going to join this family, you need to learn our ways, she said, handing Pam a list of tasks. Master my grandmother's Yorkshire pudding, host the church charity luncheon, learn 200 years of family history. I expected Pam to struggle, but she threw herself into each challenge. Her Yorkshire pudding rose perfectly on the first try. The charity luncheon raised more money than any event in the church's history. She could recite every family member back to 1823, including their middle names. Even Mom seemed genuinely impressed. Perhaps I misjudged you, she admitted at Sunday dinner, actually smiling at Pam. The family started warming up to her, giving their blessings for our wedding. 3 months before the wedding, everything started falling apart. Pam used the wrong fork at dinner. She called Great Aunt Margaret Martha. She wore navy to Mom's black tie charity gala. Small mistakes, but Mom pounced on each one. Did you learn nothing? She'd hiss. Maybe we should postpone the wedding until you're ready. Pam panicked and worked double time to fix each mistake, practicing etiquette until her body bruised. You don't need to be perfect, I told her one night as she practiced curtsying in the mirror. You don't understand, she said, hands shaking. She'll cancel our wedding. But Mom's games got crueler. She'd change the dress code without telling Pam, then humiliate her in front of the wedding vendors. I'm just trying to help you not embarrass yourself, she'd say sweetly. Pam started taking anxiety medication, waking in the middle of the night crying about being wife material. The week before the wedding, Mom delivered her ultimatum. One more mistake, and I'm calling the whole thing off. Pam didn't sleep for 3 days straight. Our wedding day finally arrived at Mom's family church, with 300 guests filling every pew. Pam looked absolutely flawless, every hair in place as she glided down the aisle like a ballerina. We made it through the processional, the readings, and our vows without a single hiccup. I was starting to think we'd actually pulled it off when the pastor reached that dreaded moment. If anyone objects to this union, the pastor intoned, speak now or forever hold your peace. Through the veil, I watched Pam bite her lip nervously while the whole church remained silent. Just as the pastor began speaking again, a clicking sound from the back caught everyone's attention. The church's massive projector screen lowered behind us. Mom stood up with a smirk, remote in hand. I object. The screen flickered to life, showing the younger-looking Pam performing positions I'd never seen, screaming another man's name, her stage name watermarked across the bottom. The congregation gasped and covered their ears and eyes. This is who she really is, Mom shouted over the uproar. Pam stood frozen, staring at herself on the screen. I changed, she whimpered. Please, I'm different now. I marched off the stage to try to turn it off while more videos played. I argued with Mom to shut it down when suddenly Pam screamed, I said I'm different now! She grabbed the unity candle and hurled it at the screen. The flame caught the silk flower arrangements. Fire spread across the altar, making everyone stand in panic. Pam charged down the aisle at my mother, her train ripping. I did everything! Everything! She tackled Mom to the ground, wedding dress tearing at the seams. I was perfect! You said I was perfect. She grabbed the remote and started hitting Mom with it. I earned this! I earned being your daughter. Then she stopped, stood up, her face went eerily calm. She walked to the burning altar decorations and pulled out a flaming branch. You know what? I am perfect. She turned back to Mom, who was trying to crawl away. You're the problem. A perfect wife would never have such an imperfect mother-in-law. She pressed the burning branch against Mom's hair and dress, catching fire instantly. You're not good enough for your son! Pam screamed as Mom rolled around aimlessly, shouting for help. You're the failure! Perfect mothers don't humiliate. Perfect mothers accept! The wedding party rushed to smother the flames with their jackets. Pam stood in the aisle, torn dress hanging off her, still holding the burning branch. I'll find him a better mother, she said calmly as sirens wailed outside. A perfect one. Mom survived with 2nd and 3rd degree burns all over. The judge sentenced Pam to a psychiatric facility for a minimum of 10 years. I tried to visit her last month. She was already waiting in the visiting room when I arrived, wearing a makeshift veil from toilet tissue, draped carefully over her head like our wedding day. She sat with perfect posture, hands folded in her lap like a bride. I'm still practicing, she whispered when she saw me, for when we have our real wedding.